Oh.
What is FGM?
I was cut when I was 7.
I was 13 years old.
I was 16 when I was cut.
It was during the school holiday and I was 9.
There was 20 of us and I was the oldest, with the youngest being 2, and she later died.
It was part of our culture. It was part of being who we are.
I was so excited, you know.
For you to come out like a princess. There was lots of dancing.
We had henna dance,
singing.
It was a really, really big party.
Because I was so young, I still didn't understand what was going to happen to me.
Then it was time for me to go into the next room. They come and blindfold me. I was thrown on the floor. I was shaking. Some women pulled my legs apart and pinned my shoulder down.
And I felt a heavy weight on my chest. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't move.
The woman sat on me and I felt a very sharp cut between my legs. It was so painful.
When they started the cutting,
I screamed so loud that the women, they gagged me to stop me from screaming.
I have no words to explain.
The pain I felt that day.
At that pool of blood, that's where every girl was cut.
I can still feel the sensation of it every time I think about it.
They used the same blade on all of us. My auntie was a cutter. And the women, you see the joy in their face, knowing that you are now a woman.
There's nothing left.
It's got no use.
There's no benefit.
It stays with you forever.
If you ever talk about it, they say you're going to die.
It doesn't go away.
Never.
What exactly is FGM? What do they do?
According to the World Health Organization, there are 4 types of FGM.
Type 1 involves cutting or removing the clitoris.
I had type 2, so it is a total removal of the clitoris and the labias.
Type 3 FGM is total removal of the clitoris, total removal of the labia minora and labia majora. And then the skin is being pulled together and it's being stitched up all the way down until the person is have a very small opening hole, which is no more than bigger than matchstick.
Type 4, which is unclassified, include pricking, piercing. But for me, I think the classification, in my own opinion, I think is wrong.
I can class myself between type 2 and type 3.
It is important to realize that all FGM cause trauma and pain and psychological and health complications.
So can you tell us why they do it and what reason they give these young girls?
The reason I was given was
controlling my sexuality.
Stopping you from getting sexual intercourse when you're not married.
And for me to be submissive to my husband.
The underlying reason for practicing FGM in all communities, including my own community, is power. Supremacy of men is perpetuated because of societal norms.
For you to become a woman, you have to go through this.
Girls have to be made right by being cut.
So it's the best thing your family could give to you. So we didn't have any choice.
I know it happens in Africa, but...
Does it actually happen in the UK?
I can't speak for all GPs, but certainly ones I've spoken to, we didn't realise it was so prevalent. We all thought it was something that happened somewhere else and not really in the UK. So to think that so many women are at risk of it or may have already been cut, it's astonishing, really.
FGM is practiced in over 30 countries worldwide. And in some countries, almost all women undergo FGM. With immigration, it has moved to these countries, including the UK.
Female genital mutilation does not discriminate. It predates Islamic religion, is not in the Quran, is not in the Hadith, and is not in the Bible as well.
What's the long-term effects for these women? What are they?
Still a struggle for me to be in a relationship Because every time I had a sexual intercourse with anybody, it's as if I'm going through the same cut over and over again.
Having baby, having smear test, is just flashback, keep on coming. It's just like they are preparing me for female genital mutilation.
Just scanning me and said, oh, she have a cyst. And it's only when they opened my abdominal, they realized it was my period that was accumulating inside. Because I had type 3 FGM, and because it was so closed up that there was nowhere the period to come out.
I feel so jealous because people can sit down and talk about the way they have fun, the way they enjoy themselves in relationship. But in my case,
a part of being happy is being taken away with that much force. So I feel more than mutilated, but not all women out there feel that way. So we have to really be careful when we're out there, because we're out there to support and help these women.
And what can we do to help? It's important that we help women to make the link between their problems that they're having and their FGM.
For me and my mother, my sister, my grandmother, this is what our genitals look like. It's normal for us.
And as a young female general practitioner who deals with women, it's never crossed my mind that urinary infections would be caused by female genital mutilation. One particular case keeps going around my head where somebody presented with what I now know is a very definite complication of FGM, and she was from an FGM community, but I didn't ask the right kind of questions because I didn't for 1 second even think of FGM as a possible cause for her problems. I could have helped her in certain ways that I didn't because I didn't really know about it. It's scary that we can't really talk about it.
And most of us from this practicing community have never had the opportunity to discuss about what happened to us.
I've been silenced for the past 30 years.
Well, things are changing. In the UK now, girls feel empowered to speak out.
The more educated and empowered you are, the more you have the courage to speak out.
We need more services provided, safe spaces for girls to go to if they want to speak more openly.
Coming to the United Kingdom, I feel so much good because when I talk, people stop and listen, and it helps me.
We're seeing some kind of, I would say, silent shift among these women, saying that they are no longer going to let their children go through FGM.
It is very decisive that we change men's views, because FGM is done on women, but it's done for men.
It is not a simple problem. It has so many complexities. Well, clearly for us, FGM is a human rights violation.
I'm not really sure to what extent the West really takes FGM as a serious issue. They think it's the issue of the practicing communities. That hurts, because FGM is a very oppressive practice and it's an injustice. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
Prosecution has never been the answer to a cultural problem. You do not want to have this practice going underground. We need to demonstrate that prosecution can work. But at the same time, we want to be clear that prevention is better.
So things starting to change for the better.
A change has begun. We've got the world watching, and they're using the UK as a good example. And I think for us to show what we can do to protect women and children, we've got to work together.
We need a national action plan here in the UK. We have the younger generation willing to talk about their own experiences as well. So I think we need to take this opportunity and run with it.
FGM is something that has happened over centuries, over millennia. So you would not see a seismic shift, but what you will see is a gradual shift. Yes, we have a long way to go, but change is happening.